Let's see if Jimmy will prepare differently to this game.
What is up, everyone? It is Lovenji Gaming here, and once again I am joined by Babbo for a dual shoutcast, and this is actually the second time we're taking on this second half of the beta tournament, the Pressure Point game, because the first one crashed, didn't it, Babbo?
Yeah, it crashed when it was in favor of Craig, but not enough to make it a win.
Yes,
Even though it crashed. It was pretty unfortunate for Craig. He was leading, but here we are getting a rematch now.
So there was a very interesting strategy from Craig that came out. It was very aggressive early play with the Convert and with Warriors. And he caught Jimmy Shaman at a really bad time. She wasn't in the base, and troops just took over the main base.
Craig is now going for green base because he's faster.
Craig has noticed that Jimmy's being a little bit more defensive about his Convert. You know, he's sticking around in his base, and he's even rushed a Warrior Hut himself. You know, he's expecting Craig to do the same strategy, and Craig's taking advantage of that. He's moved over to green base, and if he secures all of this Convert, and then moves up to blue and secures all of blue's Convert, he gives himself such a huge pop lead that he can just win the game in normal way.
Jimmy is already training his Warriors.
Yeah, we've got a large number of Warriors coming up from Jimmy. I hope he doesn't intend to finish all of that, because he's going to have nothing to build with if he turns all of them into troops. Craig's
Meanwhile,
also
Craig's still converting.
Craig is training Warriors at the same time. He's also training some Fire Warriors. He's also built his towers relatively quickly as well. So if he gets these Fire Warriors into towers and gets his Warriors patrolling at the front, he'll be able to hold off against a lot of Jimmy's Warriors.
Jimmy now going for the blue base convert.
Jimmy's run for the blue base convert. Craig is moving to contest it. At the same time, he's actually building in green base. So depending on what happens at blue base here, Jimmy could find himself surrounded by all three bases. And even with Warriors, it will be hard to troop Craig out of the game. Jimmy's sending his Warriors into suicide because, as we said, the towers are full. But Jimmy himself is going to give him a hand. But that means he's going to give up on the blue base convert. All these wildies will just go over to Craig.
This is really interesting to see.
It's very good to see the decisions that people make, you know?
At the moment, I think Craig has the lead, because he just got so many wildmen on green space.
Craig's building multiple Warrior Huts in green space, as well as he's held the front. He's held the front, you know, he's got 4 Warriors here with 2 towers to support. There's 4 Warriors coming in from the side, but again, the towers are weakening them already. You know, I really do think Craig is going to walk away with this one. Population update is 63 to Sub-Zero and only 51 to Jimmy. That's closer than I thought, but still, it's enough that you can really see the difference that we're talking about, you know.
I agree.
The Warriors have made it into the base, but Craig's responding. He's getting his own troops in there.
It's fascinating, though. If you compare this to a 2v2 of Pressure Point or a 1v1, it's just so completely differently played.
And I think that's interesting, right? You see a different dynamic of the game. I do think there's too many wild men. That's something that's been fed back in a lot of the games. I think in yours you had 120 pop and there was still wild men spawning.
Yeah, I converted up to 140 and there was still like 30 wildies running around.
So I do think
I casted the Armageddon.
So I do think there's too many wild men, but I do like the kind of game that Pressure Point brings out of Populous. It's very chaotic.
Jimmy trying to push into red space now, using 4 Fire Warriors. But there's still a filled tower.
And they're not focusing on the tower either, which means they will die. If all 4 of them focus fired on the tower, they might have killed the Fire Warrior inside, but Craig just cleans them out. Look at this. Warrior Huts have been finished. He's sending Warriors in from the side, but he's also just building, you know? He's got his Warrior Huts, now he's just building normal huts.
I think he's going for Warrior Hut first.
So the population has swung significantly. It is now 65 to Sub-Zero, but only 29 to Jimmy, so his population has halved.
Yeah, that doesn't look too good for Jimmy, and here comes Craig Shaman.
You know, with the convert that Craig has, we're expecting some blasts, maybe even an earthquake. He has had to train a lot of troops, but maybe he's squeezed out an earthquake. Oh, that's nice. Blasting the building. Takes 5 blasts to remove 1 wood stage of HP from a building. And he does that
Yep.
just to stop warriors being trained. Just in time for his warriors to push into the base.
And actually that looks already like it's over for Jimmy.
So we were a little bit worried about Craig. We were a little bit worried that you know, his warrior rush strategy would not have paid off a second time because Jimmy was prepared for it. And in fact, Craig went for an entirely different strategy, and it worked out for him. You know, he wasn't phased by the crash. That's good composure.
Jimmy calling GG already and has
False
surrendered.
GG. Type /surrender.
5:30 into the game and it's already over. That's the fastest game we've had so far.
Yep.
Well played, Craig.
So we're actually going to our first game 3 as well.